Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Another Wednesday, 5:05 Central Time. My name is Susan Ivitz. I'm a human behavior hacker. Some people hack computers. I hack humans, and I have fun doing it. Elba, on the other side.
Yeah, good to the other side. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Elba Uribe, and I am the CEO from Latin America.
And this show is about you, for you, because of you. So last week we did Russian against Ukraine because I'm going to mess it up again, the name. So we asked you at the end of the show, what do you want to see? And guess what? Apparently, we have really well-educated audience because we have a couple of comments saying, you never did the comparison between both, why they can communicate or why they communicate. What are the pros and cons? I'm like, sorry. So this week, instead to do what we were supposed to do, because this show, again, is for you, because of you, Elba, what we're going to be talking about?
Why they cannot communicate. So we are going to compare each other.
Let's go to the presentation. So now that I have the names in front of me, I can pronounce it. Putin versus Zelenskyy. I think I had it. Why can't they communicate? So we're going to go to our analysis and face rating. So for the ones who didn't saw the show last week, the link is going to be below so you can see the complete show. It's a little longer, the introduction, because again, we were taking a break for 3 months. So we were saying hello and what is going to be happening. So you can see the presentation and the face reading that we did. In this case, we're going to go really fast on the presentation, again, on the face reading profiling of both. And at the end, we're going to talk about the pros and cons and why they cannot communicate. And first of all, we have the new newsletter. We were supposed to launch last Tuesday, but we have so many people subscribing to the newsletter that the truth to be told, MailChimp collapsed. So we have a problem with the newsletter, but this Tuesday, meaning yesterday, the newsletter went out. So if you want to receive you get your superpower, don't forget to register in the newsletter. Again, the link is below. And this week we show studies that showing that big noses, men with big noses tend to have a larger, we didn't know how to call it, so we put eggplant, so nobody forbid us, nobody block us, according to a new study that done in Japan. So if you want to know how to spot a man with long nose and long eggplant, don't forget to read our blog or subscribe to our newsletter. So first, Vladimir Putin, and again, we are democratic in this company. She chose Putin and she put me with Ukraine. Why? I don't know. Elba, all yours.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I always be interested about Vladimir Putin. So I think let's do it. Let's make it happen. So that's why I choose this one. Ha.
Most people say then I show contempt. No, I had an aphasia because I was a tomboy when I was a kid. And I ended up landing in my face for 100 meters, trying to jump on a ramp with my bike. So cause when that happened 45 years later, and you get at 50, the collagen doesn't work so well. So when I do this, check my baseline. I'm not showing contempt. Contempt, I show it on the other side. This is I'm laughing. So all yours, my love.
Okay, let's do it fast and just pick the more significant things about him. Let's go to the 20s. We can see on the 20s that he has a really, he's going to be step-by-step processing the information. And he goes with the facts and the data. Don't waste time. Don't go around because he needs the facts and the data. And in this time, in the 20s, he was playful. And if you can see his mouth here, he's more talking about the outside, not the inside. But here is one thing: pay attention to the mouth through the years. So his ears, they are high, so they intake the information really fast. They need information really fast, and they process the information really fast. But he needs step-by-step information. So you need to go to step 1 to 10. Don't skip, because he's going crazy with that. Now, in the 40s, if you can see here, he start being like, okay, he's still being step-by-step process, but he start being more methodical. He needs like, okay, let's start. I need a step-by-step, but he start being methodical. Now, you can see his nose start changing.
Mm-hmm.
His nose start being like, I'm not going to trust in you. You need to show me first. In his mouth, he has two things here. You can see his mouth start being smaller. He start talking like, okay, I'm just going to talk about the things I need, and that's it. But he has secret lines. He keeps his secrets, a lot of things. Now, on the 60s, wow. You don't know what's happened with him. You don't know. He can be like following you with the things, but you don't know what's in his mind, because he's like the chameleon one. His ears start being higher. So he just throw the information and put it out there and don't go around with him. And he is the person that he is going to be like outside the box. He thinks outside the box. Now, the nose, if you can see the change, he lost his playfulness, and he's not going to trust on you. Even if you say he's not going to trust. Maybe if you can have the proven things, he can trust, but it's going to be really hard. In his mouth, he doesn't have upper lip. So feelings, nothing. And it's
Nothing
like,
of this.
yes, nothing. And the secret lines goes like, wow, they're big. And his mouth is turning down. So he's going to be like, okay, yes, he's preparing to hear the worst. And when you say something, he's going to block you and say, but. So prepare for that, because this guy is not going to be easy.
Nope. Anything else?
Nope. Let's
go to the next one. But first, on April, one of the reasons that we took a 3 months sabbatical, actually we worked more than we worked before, is because we have 9 classes between April and July. So the first 2 that we're going to be launching is a special program that is 6-month face reading profiling, 6 months class, how to get the world in your hand. And believe me, from all the channels and behavior, the oldest one is face reading profiling. And the only one, you don't need a video, you don't need a paper, you don't need a voice, you don't need handwriting, you don't need anything. You need a picture, and you can make a profile up to 98% accuracy. We did the study with face reading with mask, and we were 98% accuracy. The only deviation that we have on the study is one person asked us to read your micro expression and says, you're not moving, so there's no way to micro expression. So we decide to add that variable to the study, that even though people were putting testimonials in LinkedIn and they say that we send the picture because we were sure that they're not going to be able to do it. And when they find out that we did it, they were blown away. So you want to have the world in your hand. You want to know what people think, how to talk to them, to get whatever you want from anyone. Just do this class. Now, the next one, it's a short program that is reading faces, 10 features in 10 days. Actually, it's a 15-day class, self-paced, where you can, in 15 days, being able to read everyone in 90 seconds, too, with the basic big features needed. The program before, it's a program that is 6 months. You have coaching groups every week, and 2 different time zones are going to be recorded in video. They're going to be in audio, so you can review the classes. Homework every Friday. So there are a lot of things that you're going to have in this coaching class. This one is only have the Facebook group, and it has one open class a month. Now, let's go to President Volodymyr Zelenskyy.
Yeah.
And I got it. Okay. These pictures are from the one you're going to find on the left of your screen is when he became president, is the official website. The other one is more on to. We remember he took command on his presidency of Ukraine in 2019. One of the things, he have a straight way of thinking. Like I said last week, if you're going to put this guy to ensemble something, he's going to be methodical, he's going to do it right, and he's going to make sure that everything that he does has roots. Actually, it's correlation between this feature and the way he built his career. He started a comedian, and if you want to see how funny he is, you can see the show again on the link below about we did the last week, where we show some of his comedian. He was original, and he ended up building one of the most successful entertaining production companies on Ukraine. And actually, the last show that he produced was about a teacher who was talking bad about the government. Somebody record him, put it on the media, and the public asked him to be president. A couple of months later, he announced he's going to become candidate for president in UK. Everybody laughed about, well, the last laugh was about for him because he won with 73%. It's amazing. Like, I was reviewing other presidencies, and I don't recall anybody else winning with such a big number. So he was liked by the people. Everything he does is perfection. Everything he does is grounded to the earth and long term. So every decision that he's doing has to do with that. Now, the way he intake information, the way that you're going to be able to communicate with him, put information on his CPU. How old? Nobody uses CPU anymore. Like, that shows how old I am. Let's put, like Elba says, the antenna, how he gonna receive information. Oh my God. I choke with my own age. Horrible. It's gonna be his visual. His visual, he needs to see, he probably take notes. Even though maybe he doesn't take notes because he's going to review the notes, but people that is so visual, they write what they do, because what happened when you write what people is telling you, even though you're not seeing it, you see the words, so you want to remember them. Actually, another way to determine if you're visual, if you don't remember a word, close your eyes, look up, and do this. People whose visual is kinetic, and this is a way to establish like function in your brain. So when I don't remember a word, besides being dyslexic, it's not because English is my fourth language, it's because like I'm kinetic and visual, and because I learned by phonetic by myself, I need to visualize the words. So that's the kind of person, not because he's dyslexic, because he's visual kinetic. Now, one of the biggest things that we're going to see the difference between the Russian president and the Ukrainian president is how high or low are the ears. He processes information in his own time, at least when he was chosen president. Now his ears are higher. Even though the picture we're going to show, because it's the official picture, if you can see on the show, and actually you can see the picture on the right, that's the reason I put it, you're going to see the ears are getting higher. People don't believe that your ears, your nose, everything in your face can change. It's called epigenetics. So check pictures in your album, go to your pictures, and you're going to see how many features change beside asymmetry. So now he processes information faster because the situation and the position that he take. But initially, when he start, he need things on their own pace. Doesn't change how visual kinetic he is. He's about people, he's about plants, but he needs to know what he's getting his nose to. He's never going to be unprepared for a meeting. He's never going to go not knowing what he get to. Doesn't matter how busy he is or how much work he needs to do. Now, we do have a common denominator that we're going to talk that have to do with the communication level, but he's more expressive. Another thing that he has is he's really critical about the job he does. He wants to be recognized, not because he wanted to be on the media for recognition, but the people who is important for him is important to be recognized. That's the reason they call him the people president, or the president for the people in Ukraine, because for him it's important what people think about him. And by the way, he's stubborn like a mule. Do you think we're talking about the Russian president being stubborn? Let's go and see. Elba, any questions about the Ukrainian president?
Yeah, you see how it's wow, it's amazing how change can fade, how the face can change. And you see the lower part, the chin.
Yeah, it's completely round. It's people oriented. He's gonna talk to you in a way. This is the kind of guy, if you're gonna date it, make sure that you have a second plan, because you're gonna end it up wherever he wants you to end it up. He's gonna talk to you the way like, what? How you ended up here? Yeah, that's kind of guy.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the comparison. That's what you was waiting for. That if you like this channel, and if you don't like it either, like, share, and comment. More comments we have, more people is going to be watching this. And by the way, next week we're going to start putting, because we start having a lot of people who write to us, because we put the email at the end, and they feel more comfortable writing to us. And we start seeing is people telling us like, oh, my family is from Ukraine. I'm in London. I'm in China. I'm in India. I'm in Latin America. So we're going to start putting digital map, where we're going to start putting pins that where is the people who watching the show and where our students coming. So if you want to put on the comment below where you coming from or where you watching from, and put, if you don't want to comment on the video, at least let us know where you're coming from, so we know how far we go. One of the crazy things about internet, and you never know how far or where the people are, where they watch you. So we like that, and we have that idea from one of our students, so we're going to put it. So if you want to learn how to find us, go and put in Google and YouTube, Susan Ivitz or Human Behavioral Lab. Do you want to learn how to profile anyone in 90 seconds? That's the way you're going to do it. Now, this is going to be a short show that loaded with a lot of information. Do you want to start with your guy comparing to my guy? How you want to do it?
Okay, let's start with my guy, because I have things here that I want to say.
Oh, I'm sure you have. I know you have.
Okay, let's start with one.
You see, I smiling.
Yes, I know you. Okay. Putin is going to be like fast. Okay, he needs the information really fast and just go with the things. Now, Zelenskyy, he needs his time to incorporate the information. So what's going to happen? Putin is going to say something, and Zelenskyy is going to be like, okay, wait a minute, just go slow. And he's going to come back with questions, and Putin is going to be like, what? I already told you. So that can be an issue with these two when they need to communicate. I think this is going to be like really hard to establish a pattern to talk, because one is fast and one is slow.
Yeah, and let's put it clear something, because people says, oh, it's better in certain profession and certain position thinking fast. It's great. What happened with fast is happened with our students is like, okay, this is the unit. You have any question? No, I get it. Next one. And says, wait a minute. You know what is going to happen with you? You process information really fast. Tomorrow you're going to forget. Mm-hmm. You're going to do the questions in 2 weeks again. Now, with a person who's slow information, maybe it's going to drive you crazy, because you think like, what the heck, is no water in the tank? But they're not going to come back with the same questions, because they take the time to process. So pros and cons. One is process information really fast. Great. But what happened, it's like he want to do it yesterday and he want to do it now. The other one want to do it tomorrow and want to do it right. So what is right is not fast. You can be fast and right, but required to have somebody who can compliment you. And when you don't have anybody around you that you trust, because you don't trust anyone, let's put it this way, Putin doesn't trust anyone. Doesn't mean Zelenskyy trusts more people, but he have more people to be talking about this subject. Now we know for the information on the media, again, we're not going to go politics. We don't know what the heck is going to happen when this air. is that he's only surrounded by most of his bodyguards. He doesn't talk to much people. It's my way or the highway. And instead, Zelenskyy is like, let's look for a consensus.
Yes, I agree with that. So I think these two, but these two have one thing too in common. These two think outside the box.
Yep.
So this could be, they can have something in here because they are going to find the solutions or the things in a different way. Now, the problem here could be which one is going to take, because both will came with a really like wow thing, and both are going to be like, okay, but yeah, this is mine, this is yours, but which one is going to be the one we are going to follow?
Yeah, and I think that is going to be really difficult to find a decision in the middle. These two are going to need a third part,
to help them.
A government, an entity, an association, or a mediator to make them get to an agreement. Because the thinking style, even though they both want to do it right, and they both want to proceed and process the information and do it right and methodical, the point is one to be methodical fast and the other one to be methodical slow.
Yes. Now, I think here it's going to be something that, okay, for Zelenskyy, it's going to be hard. Why? Because Zelenskyy will not going to know what's going on with Putin, right? Mm-hmm. Because he is going to follow the path, but at the end of the day, he's going to do what he wants. So here, I think they have something like really, really different. And I don't know how these two is going to manage, because Putin is going to be like, okay, yeah, you're right. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do the things in my way.
Yeah, it's my way. That's what I said, my way or the highway. Now, in the case of Putin, he's burned out. He is burning the candles in both ends. Even before this situation, he was doing that. Now, we have seen pictures of Zelenskyy last week that you can see the white part of the lower part of the eye completely burned out. He's in a level of stress, almost kind of disconnecting from reality. It's not that he's disconnecting from reality, but reality is too much for him to foresee and to conquer and to move forward. And another thing that Putin doesn't have, that Zelenskyy have, is the visionary lines. Zelenskyy have visionary lines. He look forward what is going to happen tomorrow. Putin is today. I don't care what I'm going to destroy. I don't care who is going to be get on the middle. It's not a future. The future is today. It's not a past. It's not a future. It's today. Zelenskyy is a past, a present, and a future. That's one of the features that we explain on the program, on the 6-month program, that a little deeper, because we have more time with the students. And even though it's pre-recording classes, because we have the live coaching, and as long as students need, it's when we're going to start talking about that. When you have a visionary line, it's past, present, and future. When you don't have those and you only have burnout lines, you cannot see ahead 2 hours. It's now, how I'm feeling now, and what is going on now.
Yes.
What else?
Now, I think one thing here. Zelenskyy is more people-oriented and talking like that. But now Putin is going to be like, yeah, but he's going to give the but first. So Zelenskyy is going to give him something, and Putin is going to be like the one like, okay, but here's something that is not going to work. And this is not good. So I think to Zelenskyy, it's going to be hard to take this from Putin, because he's going to be always like, but this is not good. This is not right. Let's do it again. So I think here they have an issue too.
Yep. And another thing is both are really aware of the criticism of others. But in this case, Zelenskyy is more aware of the criticism than Putin. So Zelenskyy is going to be like, what people is going to think about this, how people is going to take it. What is the perception that I give in? How is I being taken? And if he doesn't have somebody who start recognizing the job that he does, he's going to start going in a rabbit hole. So I do hope that he have people around him that is being thoughtful on the way that giving reinforcement, because he's going to run out of gas pretty soon. Beside that, if he can afford the gas, because oh my God, thank God I'm living in Indiana. It's $1 cheaper than in Chicago. So yeah, he's going to run. Actually, for the two phases, Zelenskyy is going to run out of energy faster than Putin. Putin have more energy. Putin can spend 3 days without sleeping. Zelenskyy needs to sleep a little more. Zelenskyy can work like 4 hours and stop, and go back and work 4 hours and stop. Putin can work 16 hours, no stop, no coffee, keep going. He's like the energizing bunny.
Yes. So, yes.
What else, my love, do you see here between these two?
I think these two has something in common too. It's like both are like the step-by-step process. So they need the steps. Okay. So that this point, this is going to be easy for them, because they're going to be, okay, this is the plan. Let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But Putin, at the end of the day, yeah, we have the plan, but at the end of the day, I'm going to put like my season here.
Where you see that?
It's the forehead.
We still talking about the forehead. Both are really well educated. Both are going to review the information, but the way they both, again, one of the things that I think is going to be the more complicated is you can be talking with Putin and he's doing this and you think that he's agreeing with you, but actually he's on his own world, in his own rabbit hole. He have a way to process that you never know what is going on. More than once, I told you, I love people with chameleon eyebrows, because it's something that you never know what is going to hit you. And that's what Putin have, but Zelenskyy doesn't have it. Now, both have the determination to start and finish things. Doesn't matter what happened. So I'm worried about that, because they have different agendas. Both want to finish what they start, but what they want to finish and start, they're two different things.
Yes, because there's different. The things are different. So yeah.
And both need people around them. They natural instinct is they need people. Now they allow themselves to have people around because they can trust it or not. That is a completely different show. But the point is both are ambivert. They need their time by themselves. At the same time, they need time for be around other people. Elba, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the same is putting especially in his personal side. He needs more people in his personal side. But I think, yeah, both need people around them. Even though they need the space, they need his time to be alone and do their own things. But at the end of the day, they will need people too.
Okay, I'm going to start with the cons, because I like always to be like feisty. So they're going to receive information on the same way, visual. The problem is Zelenskyy is going to need more time, even though now he's accelerating the way that he processes information. He's still going to need it a little slower. Putin is do it right, do it now, do it yesterday. And he tried to process too fast. That make him my way or the highway. And that one of the reasons he always come out more aggressive is not that he's not, but he come out way more aggressive than he can be for that reason. They have a different way to process the information you give them on the brain, but the way they're going to execute the information, the process is going to be the same. So for both, on the way that they can better communicate based on the cons is both need to be taught visually. Putin is going to need it faster. Zelenskyy is going to need it a little more time to process. And Putin is maybe going to be shutting down, not talking about what you're telling them until he have the question. Zelenskyy is going to be more interactive about that. Tell me more. Tell me more. I want to know. Putin is going to be more reluctant. But the time they pull the trigger, both are going to pull the trigger the same way. It's how you storage the information in their brains.
Mhm.
It's not how they're going to pull the information from their brain. And both are closing what is the personal sacrifice they're doing for these. They're better talking about what their actions they're going to do instead how they feeling about what they're doing. Elba, what are the things that are pros in these two?
I think the pros is that both can have a different idea. So maybe in some point they can be agree with something different because both like different things. And both they are talking about the external things, not the inside things. So no feelings there. And I think the step-by-step process information for both is the same. So I think this is going to be helpful for both.
Anything else?
Nope.
So if somebody couldn't get in the middle, they're going to need a mediator. They're not going to be willing to talk by themselves. I don't care what other analysis says. I don't care what other profiler says. I don't care what other politician says. They will not going to get together by themselves. They need to have a referendum person or organization to put it together. Now, the problem Putin is doesn't respect any organization. Zelenskyy does, but if both parts are not, that's the reason I don't agree with the term never split the differences. That would happen, we don't split the difference. In this case, we need to split the difference for both parts feel that they're getting satisfied because both are type A. Zelenskyy is more passive type A. Vladimir Putin is more aggressive type A. Elba, what do you think?
Yes, I agree with the same because these two is going to be in a meeting by themselves. The meeting is going to be like 2 minutes and nothing happened because they are not going to be agree. But yes, they need someone to be in the middle and try to load the things so both can understand.
I completely agree, my love. Okay, if you have questions for Elba and you want to learn more about our Latin American office, you need training for your team, either in English or in Spanish. Actually, you're going to have a big event on April 17 in Guatemala, no?
It's it's going
open
to be
again.
Yes, it's going to be really good.
And we're going to have pictures, I'm sure.
You are going to see the pictures.
I wish I can be there. I'm going to miss the event.
But you are going to be there. At least you are going to be in the Zoom. So yeah, I think it's going to be great.
It's not going to be the same. But anyway, that's the month that we launched the two biggest classes we're going to have. So I'm going to need to be here. And we have another event happening here in Chicago that weekend. But if people want to contact you, where they can find you?
You can go to elba@humanbehaviorlab.com. And for you, Susan?
If you want to contact me or know more about the classes or have a one-on-one to see if that which one is the right class for you, because not everybody's prepared to a full-length like dark core, get the world in your hand class. So you can go to Susan@humanbehaviorlab.com. Okay, because this show is for you, about you, and because of you, and I kiss my cats again before to do the final, we choose to go back to the subject that we talked last week, even though we want to talk about another thing, but it says, why you didn't do the comparison between both? So here we go. Russia against Ukraine, Ukraine versus Russia, whatever you want to put it. We talk about what are the most, we couldn't have been like doing this reading for an hour and a half, but we basically want to put what are the things that the pros and cons and why they cannot communicate, even though maybe they have features that are similar. They have another ones who make them like really difficult. And I hope somebody can mediate between both because as a personal level, it's horrible to see the news. Elba?
Yeah, I think the same. So this is what's for you, so you can see why they cannot communicate and why they need a third person inside.
Yeah. So remember, all the links about all the things that we talk about, the classes, the newsletter, how to connect with us. If you're going to learn more about human behavior hacker school, or you want to contact us, are below on the link. The show for the last week is on the link too. So remember, every Wednesday, 5:05, where they can find us, Elba?
They can find us in YouTube.
Yeah, no more LinkedIn, no more Facebook, because it was too complicated to get all the comments. We were losing comments and we couldn't reply to you. So now we are only in YouTube. But the good news, we are in YouTube. That is easy to find us. My love, I cannot wait to see you next week. I think that we were talking about Scott Peterson. He was on trial again last December, and actually he was sentenced to life in jail without parole. And what is the fake telling us? And you know what? I like the challenge, not because it's Scott Peterson, is because most of the pictures are showing with mask.
Say yes.
And yeah, for
you
the
can
ones
read
who
a face with mask too. So,
and maybe we're going to take advantage of that show to show people how the results, because we're still asking permission to the people who was participate on the show. So if you was participate on the show and you haven't checked your email, please check your email, because we need your permission to publish the result, not your pictures, only the results and the feedback you give us. So my love, my business partner in crime, Other the profiler, thank you for keeping Latin American in order, boss. We're on the boat. Yeah, we're gonna start swimming. I'm gonna take the boat.
Both can swim.
I don't know what I was thinking wearing this, like, yeah. It's because I miss sailing. My sailing team moved to California. One of them is working for Amazon, so he needs to move to California. I need to find a new sailing team. So if you like sailing, I'm the one who driving the boat, and don't give me a hard time. I know it's not called driving, but I'm the one who drive the boat, and I like with the flags. So if you're sailing in Chicago and you're missing somebody to drive the boat, I'm really good. I'm certified, and I have recommendations later. So I miss my sailing. Now the summer is coming. Anyway, bye, love.
Bye, everyone.